รียบសួរខ្ញុំឈ្មោះ Khon អាយុ70ឆ្នាំហើយ
From 1969 to 1979, there were 10 years of hardship and war. Khon and his family tried to escape the bombs and shootings by fleeing during the night. They left everything they owned behind and saw their home burned to the ground. They ran and ran with nothing but the clothes on their backs and managed to escape narrowly. Khan's second son was hit by a grenade in the process. Caught in the middle of the Khmer Rouge regime, he says, words cannot describe how hard those times were. They were forced to endure as they witnessed families separated from each other and many people died. With no food and no medical assistance available, he lost one of his sons during this time. They were living with no hope and no purpose, he says, admitting to being an angry man who was often cruel to his family. He describes that there was no happiness left in his family, that they were merely trying to fight to survive. He continues on to tell me one of the most remarkable stories I have ever heard. He tells me of the multiple miracles he has witnessed God do, one of which led to the salvation of his entire family. Pastor Khon tells me that the same son, Srin, who was hit by the grenade, became terminally ill as a child. He took him to a medicine man, but had no success. It was clear that Srin had a type of fungus or mold growing inside of his throat. They took him to the doctor in the city and were told that his condition was too hard to cure. Pastor Khon and his wife, Sin Tang, were terribly sad because they loved their son so much and they knew that he was going to die. Then, one night, Sin Tang had a dream, a vision, about a cure for her son. In the dream, she was shown 4 different kinds of plant roots. She was directed on how to clean, prepare, and administer the roots, one in the form of a tea and one in the form of a gargle. They were so desperate for their son's life that they were willing to try anything, so they did as the dream indicated. As the remedy was applied, the mold began to come out, and their son made a full and miraculous recovery. 10 years later, the same son encountered God, had a radical life change, and brought the revelation of God to his father and eventually to his whole family. Pastor Khon was open to God after his first time hearing, he says, but he was still intrigued and hungry for more. He would even ride his bike for 4 hours into the city to get to a church and study the Bible. Pastor Khon found his hope and purpose in Christ and went on to establish the first ever church in Takeo province. To this day, this church is consistently growing and flourishing. Pastor Khon expresses his gratitude to God. He's thankful that God is using him. Despite his old age and his setbacks, he says, God is still using him to change things. He tells me that he just wants people to know that nothing really matters in this life, nothing but God. He encourages us not to be afraid to serve God. He says that whenever you choose to serve God, God will protect you and God will provide, so there's no reason to be afraid. He is Khon, and this is his story.